All right, so in the spirit of a topic that I feel very strongly about, um, prioritizing yourself, I feel like this is a topic that I can definitely just kind of bring focus to in these videos for a while, just because it feels extremely relevant to talk about it during the day and age that we currently live in, late stage capitalism and whatnot. Whether you're right now finding yourself in your life at a point where you're kind of exhausted about how you're feeling with how things are going, or you're pursuing a degree in at a college, university, whatnot, or even if you're in high school, maybe you're a senior or something like that, and you're confused about what's coming next, and all of this, can be going on in many of your minds. I, for one, just want to bring light to being who you are and not being uncomfortable with that. And even if you are uncomfortable with it, it's okay. Life is an unfolding process, and you have to have a lot of trust in life over time to realize that the way that your life is unfolding is not by any accident, which is sounds like some, I don't even know what word to use. It sounds bizarre. Like, oh, what do you mean my life's not an accident? Like it's very, even the things like, even me saying that, do I fully know that? Am I completely aware of that? I'm not. But I abide by that idea. I don't know if abide is the correct word to use, but I fall into that. I lean onto that idea just because up until this point in my life, I feel like after having graduated high school, attended a few years at one college or one university, and then at a community college, it can look a little confusing as to like, well, where am I going now? Like, what is going to happen? What am I going to become? Because at one point during those years, it felt like if I didn't lean and become dependent on a path like attending school and pursuing a higher education, like what really comes of me after that? Like, if I'm not doing that, like, who am I? Like, so I started to really dive into that question. And it's kind of funny for me because I wouldn't say funny as in a way that you could laugh about it, but and interestingly enough for me, since I was a kid, I kind of I would say like, oh, I wanted to be this. Like, as a kid, I would say I wanted to be a heart surgeon. And I think the only reason I would say that is because some family members that I have, like my one side of my family, my uncle and aunt, and my two cousins, and one of them just had recently graduated from medical school. It's like a family of doctors, and I thought that was something that would be appealing for them to hear. And I wasn't wrong. Like, they heard me say it and was like, oh wow, like that's so nice, that's so awesome, like we can't wait to see you grow up, and whatever they said at that time. But it ended up, even as like a small kid, like in kindergarten, I said that I wanted to be a cop. And then I had one cousin be like, oh, but cops are like, they're jerks, like why would you want to be a cop? And I don't know, beats me why I said that as a kid. But one thing that I just would do is just genuinely, like, I would write little stories. Like when I was in the third and fourth grade and fifth grade, I had my journal, my journal for school. And some classes were actually like some of the activities that we would do as kids in those classes. Like there was this one English teacher that I had that would just be like, oh, write a journal entry, like write about something. And sometimes it would be prompts. Sometimes I would just write whatever I wanted to write. And sometimes I would write stories about the origin of existence, like the first two people. I guess it was like an Adam and Eve spin-off, but I've never really grew up in like a religious household that, like my parents are religious, but they don't go to church, like, they do their prayers at home. And the kind of relationship that my parents hold together is one that I genuinely aspire to have. They're each other's rock. They depend on each other to a point where it's like the love that they have and hold for each other is the type of one that I would also envision and hope that I could have in my life as well. So just that's kind of like how I grew up. But the point is that through the years, over time, I started to recognize that some of the things that I would naturally just do, that was really who I was. And I didn't really understand that fully. I kind of feel like I need to block this thing because it's like getting, I don't know, like I don't know what's going on with the screen, but I feel like something is happening and it's like distracting me. So I'm just going to cover it. But whatever. The point is that through the years, whether it be journal entries or like stories, like fictional stories that I would write, or even just, hold up, now I just realized my microphone I'm all over the place right now. I'm sorry. But just through the years, even with like as a kid, I never wanted to mention this in a story because like if this YouTube account or like my future self ever reaches like some sort of audience, I don't want people to like go back and like, I don't know, like it's not like it matters anyways because the YouTube account, like I stripped it from like all of the videos that were uploaded, which I wish I didn't do. I kind of wish I privated them or something like that, but I literally erased everything. And it's not like it matters anyways because the email and the password that are attached to that YouTube account, I have no clue what they are. I have no clue. But the point is, I had several YouTube accounts when I was younger where I would upload gaming content. One in particular, I had like 100 something subscribers, and I would just literally upload like Minecraft playthroughs, and there was always something that was appealing to me about just having like, I don't know, just talking and doing something or whatever. But it was just always like, it was like a wholesome little child YouTube account of me just uploading my Minecraft playthroughs and whatnot, and I would meet people that I never actually knew face to face that would also do the same thing, and it was like a community, and it just was like so nice because although like I knew it wasn't ever like, it's not like I envisioned myself ever becoming like, I didn't have fantasies about, I don't know if fantasies is the right word, but I didn't have ideas like oh, I'm gonna be a big Minecraft YouTuber, and a while ago too, like, and it wasn't that long ago, it was like within the past 5 years, I even would stream on Twitch, and I would like have like a face cam up and it'd just be me playing video games. And some of my friends, some people that I'm not friends with anymore, but even some of the guys that I still know to this day, they were like, because Kai Cenat has this whole like streamer university thing going on. I don't know if it's still going on or not, but they were like, oh man, if you would have continued going with that, you would have been in streamer university, or like you would have had an audience by now and this and that. And it's just like, oh, it's cool to like imagine that or think about it. But I'm not upset by any means that I left that stuff in the past, because at some point, like even now, I don't really see myself. There's a point to this, by the way. I'm gonna get to that eventually. But I don't really see myself like playing video games, and that's not really my thing. Like I've always kind of have known what my thing was, and that thing has evolved over time. In the sense of like it's kind of stayed true to its nature, but the ideas or just the process, it's just unfolded in a way that I'm getting a better understanding. I'll never, like, until I'm on my deathbed, maybe even then I might not have the full picture, but I would hope so. When I'm on my deathbed, I would hope like, okay, like I've fulfilled what I came here to do. I did what I came here to do, and I'm proud and I'm happy, and I can go in peace. I can just be my deathbed, just being happy about how my life played out, hopefully. So the point is that life has been unfolding for me in such a way that over time, and continuing over time, like tomorrow, the coming months, the coming years, the coming days, coming weeks, whatever it may be, the picture is coming together, and for a while I was, a few years ago when I was coming out of high school, coming out of college, I didn't understand how the picture was going to come together. Like it really felt like the pressure to make a decision, to figure out something needed to happen. And over time I realized, no, that isn't really what needs to happen. Maybe that's a part of the illusion, to believe that I need to piece this together. No, it genuinely does feel like life has been piecing it together all this time, and I'm just sort of tuning into that. And the more I'm tuned into that, which is just going to naturally happen as a result of just feeling okay with life and how it's unfolding, the more I become in tune to that, the more I'm going to be in the becoming of who I am, what I came here to do, So, and don't get me wrong, there's, even just a few days ago, I was coming out of work. I went to go record a video about late stage capitalism and just how I've been feeling and all this, and it makes it just, some days feel really draining. Some days it feels like, why does life have to be like this? Like, and it's just really like, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Like, it was designed to be that way for whatever reason. There's a higher thing, a higher level understanding that we just simply don't have access to, but you best believe it does exist, some way or another. And that's just an experience that you'll have to maybe wait until life unfolds for you or something like that. I'm listen, I myself am not saying that I'm fully awakened, I'm enlightened, this and that, but I'm just leaning on to that stuff because, yeah, it feels comfortable. It feels comfortable just having a sense of like, okay, I don't have to like fall into the hurt, into the pain, and then into the suffering of trying to figure something out, when I know that maybe some days I am going to feel like I'm figuring something out. Maybe some days things are just going to happen, and then I'll eventually realize, okay, it's been unfolding this way the entire time, and over time I've just become more in tune to just how things are unfolding, and I'm becoming more okay with how things are unfolding for me personally, So yeah, life is a roller coaster of so many different emotions, so many different experiences, and sometimes those experiences can be the most mundane things. Like, literally, just today, like, I woke up, I was like, I should go on a walk. Like, this whole past week, I haven't gone to the gym, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm really slacking. Like, I don't have the image of like how, like, I want my body to feel and look like. I'm really slacking this and that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, even in that feeling, like, it's like, I know to remind myself that it's okay, but you best believe that I am overwhelmed or overcome at some points through this sensation of just like, I'm missing out on something, or I'm delayed, or like, I'm very much prone to falling under that kind of pressure. So me coming out here, don't believe I'm saying all these things just for the sake of like, I'm trying to paint the image that I'm a perfect person, or I'm by no means am I that perfect person. Just like a week ago, I fell under the temptation of lust, of wanting something that wasn't grounded in a long-lasting, loving relationship. Like, I found myself under that temptation that I folded under. So by no means am I trying to paint an image when I say these things that I'm this awakened, enlightened, high spiritual person. Like, I'm not. But the more that I become in tune to this stuff, the more I realize that life is just an unfolding process, that once you become aware of that and see how your life has unfolded to this point and how it'll continue to unfold, it at least gives you some comfort. It gives you some comfort. So the reason I bring up and at the start of this video, I brought up prioritizing yourself, and I just kind of rambled on about all these different things, is because prioritizing yourself genuinely, in my personal opinion, is one of the best practices that you can practice in this day and age. And don't get me wrong, of course, I'm not going to be oblivious or pretend like it's an easy thing to do, because simply put, whether it's yourself or someone or a majority of the masses of people, some people work full-time jobs, and with working full-time jobs, you're working like 40 plus hours a week. And at that point, it's like, well, what time do I really have to prioritize myself, And at that point, it's a difficult thing for me to talk about, because, I mean, in my job, I work part-time. I'm at the point I'm at in my life, I'm working a part-time job. I only work like 3 days a week. And then the rest of the days, I'm kind of just living life, doing something like this, and struggling with my mental, or struggling with something physical, whatever it may be. But I'm learning to be like, okay, like, my life looks different than some of the people that I know. My life looks different than some of the people that I used to know, or whatever it may be. And it's not to try to like, it's me trying to understand, like, okay, not everyone's life looks the same. It's a fact, and it shouldn't be something that you're ashamed about. And it's not something that I'm ashamed about. Like, it's not like I'm saying these things and I'm like, damn, I don't work a full-time job and I'm 23 years old. Like, am I slacking or something like that? No. Simply put, I'm in a position in myself, in life for myself at this point where I work a part-time, I work a part-time job, and I'm recording these videos as a way for me to just kind of stay truer to myself. And in that process of staying truer to myself, over time, if that takes me somewhere, great. If it doesn't, then so be it, so be it. Like, if this doesn't take me anywhere, it's like, at the end of the day, like I also have said it before in these videos, I don't really have an expectation to where this goes, whether this goes somewhere or not. I still come back home and watch these videos and listen to them and feel good, like I'll share them with the people that I feel comfortable sharing them with. They give me their input, their ideas, they give me their feedback, whatever it is that they want to talk about, even if it's just simply saying like, oh man, that was a great video, or oh, this is what I thought, like this is what I think. Anything that comes from these people that I confide in to look into the stuff that I do, I'm taking it all 100%, and I'm very appreciative for the people that I have in my life, because without them, if I would have continued having the people that I had in my life before, it just would have looked like a mess, and I really do believe that there are no accidents. Like, I'm not surprised that once I was able to cut off these guys, I felt closer to my truth. I'm not surprised that in my accidental journey of semen retention, that I also became closer to my truth. I'm not surprised. I really am not surprised, because it's just like, I've heard these things before. I've heard people talk about it, different like celebrities talk. I wouldn't say celebrities, that sounds kind of crazy, because not every celebrity is like that. But I've heard different people, I've heard different voices, I've read in books that I've read, just overall these healthier habits of sort of redirecting your sexual energy, and then also just redirecting your focus on your thoughts. Transcendental meditation, which is the meditation that I practice, alongside with that. And also, I've grounded my bed. That's one of the things that I did recently. If you're not familiar with grounding or like earthing, look into it, man. There's a lot of stuff out there that if you like pay attention and you're in tune to, these things are very beneficial. They're very beneficial, and I'm not by any means surprised that in the process that has been unfolding for me. I'm locking my door. I don't know what noise I heard. It'd be so scary if somebody were to like knock on my window or something like that. I don't know what that noise was. But yeah, I'm not shocked that after these things came up, that a door sort of revealed itself that I didn't know was there, and I walked through the door with things haven't been let go that I didn't need anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it takes sometimes. You got to cross that door not holding anything that you were holding before that was holding you back. In my case, it was friends. In my case, it was distraction with lust. It was also distraction of like a heartbreak. Overcoming these things, which just naturally happens because it's in our nature to be adaptable to these circumstances, to life. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of rambled all over this video, but I still wanted to come out here and say something, because the more that I come out here and do this stuff, the more natural it feels over time. So I just checked, we're about like almost 19 minutes into this video. Randomly, I just want to say, just for the fun of it, I'm supposed to get a haircut in 2 days from now. So today's Monday. I'm supposed to get a haircut, not tomorrow, but Wednesday. And I'm genuinely excited, and I'm curious as to how I will even look like on camera, because it's going to be something kind of different from the style that I have right now, like including the beard. The hairstyle is going to kind of stay a little bit the same, but just like less volume, and the beard is going to look a little different. So, and it's like the first time ever since I've had like a full-grown beard that I'm going to do something different than just having a full-grown beard. Like, the only other different thing that I've done than having this is like just having exactly this, but like less volume, like a little bit more tucked into like my actual face and like cheekbones and my cheek or whatever, right? But no spoilers. You'll just see it in the video, and hopefully it comes out looking good. I don't know. Like, I don't know, like if it's with my astrology or something. I don't know. I know that like I've heard before that Leos are very into like hair, like their hair and stuff like that. So maybe I don't know, whatever you think about that. But yeah, no, I'm very like conscious of like my appearance, like with my hair. Like if I feel uncomfortable with how something looks like, I don't know, like I'm very hesitant to like do something new. But I trust his barber like a lot, so I'm just gonna go out and let him do his thing, like he recommended it. I took a look into it. I was like, oh man, like I don't know, like do I really want to do this? But it's okay to be uncomfortable with things and try something new. Like you'll never know how you actually feel about it until you try it. So don't be afraid to go out there and again prioritize yourself. Like genuinely prioritizing yourself can sound and become anything you want it to become. And trying something new is definitely scary. It can make you a little nervous and make you feel like, oh man, what am I doing? But generally putting yourself out there in a situation where of course sometimes trust your gut, trust your gut. But if it's just something that's just making you feel nervous and you're like, oh, would I really even like, am I really gonna lose anything by doing this? Like, is it just gonna hurt a little bit, but it's gonna help me understand more of myself? Like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Don't be, and it's okay to not do it sometimes, but also, yeah, try to do it sometimes, and you'll see where it takes you. So that's pretty much it. Now go enjoy your life, and I really do mean that. That's it.